Hello, my friends. I hope you can all hear me. We were having a little technical difficulties with the mic this morning, but I'm here today for a couple of reasons. One is I already need to do a little batch cooking, so I thought I would just do a few of the easy things while I'm chatting, because believe it or not, it is more difficult to, cook 6 things while you're talking to people than it is just to do it when you have on your favorite playlist. But right now, I want to share with you about the plant-based diet meal plans. Now, this has been a dream of ours for a long time, and we are so excited to be welcoming people into this membership. It's a subscription like Netflix, or maybe you have an Instacart subscription so you can get grocery deliveries, or Amazon Prime, so you pay a flat rate every month and then you get meal plans delivered to your inbox each week that are brand spanking new. So I'm just going to answer a few of the questions we've gotten about that, tell you a little more about it, and I'm going to make 2 recipes this morning. One, we've already gotten started. It's our Instant Pot oatmeal, because people who've already signed up already have their meal plan for this coming week, because we like to give it a few days early. That way you can do your grocery shopping on the weekend and batch cooking on the weekend if you like, but really you can do it whenever you want. So you just make it work for your schedule. We just provide it and give you any guidance as much as you need or want, and then you do it when it's convenient for you. You can also pick which recipes you want to make out of that meal plan. So the people who've already signed up already have their meal plan. They have access to the members area with all the bonuses I'll tell you about in a minute, and their meal plan. So if you want to sign up right now, you can, and you can get your meal plan. It's still early enough that you could pick up your groceries and start cooking today and be on track for the week. Isn't that awesome? So we will put the link in there if we haven't already. My husband, Jim, is helping me again today, so he's keeping an eye on the comments, answering questions, and he'll be helping with some slides and links to make sure we have all of that ready for you. So let's start talking a little bit about this. So before we started today, we wanted, I have a video on how to make Instant Pot oatmeal. Pretty sure it's on YouTube. If not, I might just need to post it. I can't remember these things. There's so many things swimming around in my head that I just don't remember them all. I take lots and lots of notes to help me stay on track. So just to make sure we had this ready, because cooking in the Instant Pot can take a while for things to come to pressure, we went ahead and started already, and it's done. It actually finished right as we were starting this broadcast. So we were going to let this set for about 10 minutes. And then after the pressure comes down, I'm going to show you a few of the ways that we like to enjoy our oatmeal. And so this recipe is on the actual batch meal plan for this week. So everyone who signs up, they get a meal plan for the week, and that meal plan includes 5 dinners, and they also get a batch cooking plan. And this batch cooking plan, it has some of the components that you can use throughout the week. Plus, it's going to include a breakfast and or snack, or both, that you can enjoy all week long. So this week, it's our favorite steel cut oatmeal, because we just love it. And also, it's our big baked oatmeal that appeared in the challenge. We don't always have repeats of things on the meal plan, but this one's so versatile that we're going to make it again. Although I'm not making it this morning, I'm experimenting with a new version that I think you are all going to love. So I will let you know how that turns out, and it'll probably appear on a future meal plan. So let's talk just a little bit about this meal plan. So basically, you get those 5 dinners. You get the batch plan that includes the components, so the breakfast and or snack, plus a few other things. So this week, one of those things is our cilantro jalapeno hummus. And the beauty of this is, if you're not a fan of cilantro or jalapeno, you can use it your own favorite recipe. But we're going to make that in our batch cooking session right now, so that we will have it to use in multiple recipes this week. Okay, and if you are not a member of the plant-based diet meal plans.com, this recipe is one of them that is on my plant-based family. So you can find it there. It's on the second page. It's one of the first hummus recipes I ever posted, so it takes a little bit extra scrolling. But most of the time, we are going to have a mix of new recipes. We're going to have a mix of quick and easy recipes and also some pantry recipes, which usually appear in the later half of the week so that all of your fresh things are used first. And then like towards the end of the week, like this week on the meal plan, it's our veggie pad thai, because those ingredients are in the freezer and in the pantry, so you're not going to waste, you know, any ingredients. However, if you have a lot of fresh veggies left over, you could easily use those instead of the freezer ones. So just to keep us on track, because we're not planning on taking 2 hours to do a full batch cook this morning, we are going to get started on this hummus, and I hope you enjoy watching how I make it. It's super easy. So one thing is I realized I was out of chickpeas, which never happens. Like I always have a ton. And I keep dried, I keep canned, but I was out. And I didn't realize that until about, 10 minutes ago when I went to grab them. I know, great at planning, but I've been focusing my planning attention on the meal plan. So, but I do have great northern beans. Any kind of white bean will do. It's going to give you a very similar taste and texture. Not quite the same, but I actually find that these beans make it like creamier because it's softer. I don't know that it's less fiber, but it feels less fibrous, if that makes any sense. Hopefully it does. Okay. And then in a minute, when we turn on the food processor, we're going to mute it because it's going to be really loud. You don't need that. You don't need that in your ear. Also, if you don't have a food processor, you can make this in your blender. I make it in the blender regularly, but I just thought it might be easier for you all to see it in the food processor. So I'm going to open my can. Okay. This is a Pampered Chef can opener, and I love it. I feel like it takes a little, you have to read the instructions to learn how to use it, but then it's super easy. All right. And I'm going to drain some of this juice over the sink, so I'll be right back. Okay. Now, Jim, can you turn to the other camera? I'm going to put this food processor right here and see if you can see it on the other camera. Okay, yeah, put it right here. That might make it a little bit easier. Okay, so I'm just going to pour my beans in. I probably poured out more liquid than I need to, but I can always add water. And so normally I will do like a few cloves of garlic, but I am just using this minced garlic that's in the refrigerated section from the store. It's just really easy and it smells really good. So I don't have to worry about peeling it. You can use like more garlic if you love it. I use about 2 teaspoons. And then, so this, like I mentioned, this recipe is cilantro jalapeno. So we're going to add some jalapeno, which I will just cut right next to this. And I just kind of cut it in chunks. And I'm very careful not to touch the inside or the seeds, because I don't need that kind of pain in my life. I'm just going to get this. Okay, and then I am going to squeeze my limes. These limes do not look the best, but they will be okay. And I like to kind of roll them on the counter to kind of loosen them up a bit. And if y'all have any questions while we're doing this, feel free just to put them in the comments and I will be happy to answer them. And Jim is laughing over there. So I don't know what's going on.
Jim's losing stuff over here.
Yeah. If we disappear, we'll be back. Wendy said that she loves her Pampered Chef can opener. Let me see if I can. There we go. All right. Oh, you're looking for the link?
I deleted the link apparently.
Okay, so the link is plantbaseddietmealplans.com. and you can press at the very top, there's a thing that says join now or sign up or one of those phrases. And that is where you are going to sign up. Okay, I just cut this in half and I'm going to squeeze it in. Sometimes I'll use a little juicing apparatus, but thankfully this is a super juicy lime. Sometimes I get limes that are not juicy at all, and that's just a problem. Okay. Man, this is so juicy. I'm so excited. Okay, just wipe my hands off a little so I can scroll. So thankfully this morning we have people watching on
My keyboard died.
Facebook and YouTube. Yeah, Jim's having technical difficulties over there. Don't worry, he's an IT professional. So, oh, look, Marlene is joining us from New York. She signed up.
They're both from New York.
That's exciting. Oh, and Wendy's from New York. We know another Wendy from New York. Okay. So this juice just keeps on coming. I'm sorry it's taking me so long. I'm just distracted by the comments. So sometimes when you're making things, we still having computer issues. Sometimes when you're using limes, you can get some that just don't have any juice. They're just super dry. And I always keep the little containers in my fridge so that I can use those. And I think I'm not even going to use 2 limes today because this one has so much juice. Sometimes I'll also zest the limes to give it some more flavor. I'm not doing that today. Okay. Now I'm going to save these peels because there's still so much juice in them, and my 9-year-old loves lime, so he's going to come and probably gnaw on them for a bit. If I leave, so here's the funny, I think it's a funny story, but you may not. So my youngest son loves food. Like he just loves it, passionate about it. And every time I cut anything that can be eaten raw, I leave some on the counter for him because he loves to eat so much and he loves all kinds of produce. So he will come in, if it's tomatoes, if it's limes, no matter what it is. The other day he grabbed something. I don't remember what it was. Oh, it was a zucchini. So I normally leave cucumbers on the counter. And I had cut up some zucchini and I wasn't finished using them. And he grabbed one, he put it in his mouth, said, said, you can spit it out. It's just zucchini. So I've learned he does not like raw zucchini. So funny, that kid. Okay. So I want to move those there, move this here a bit. And then I'm going to cut up some cilantro. A lot of times, so a few rough looking pieces in here. I did not buy fresh cilantro this week. This is like week-old cilantro. Most of the time, I will just pick off every leaf and put it in here, but I don't really want to take the time today because I still want to make the oatmeal and show you kind of how we do that. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and open that lid now so that we will be able to, touch it here in a minute. The pressure has to come down still. It's been 14 minutes, but the pressure wasn't all the way gone. So I don't know how loud that is for you, so I'm just holding on. Oh, Wendy said she's signing up now. That's exciting. Thank you, Wendy. You will find some bonuses that I'm going to talk about soon and your meal plan in the members area. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut up my cilantro. Now, the thing is, this is going in the food processor, so it's going to get chopped up finely. I just like to chop things up roughly before I put them in. And I'm not really a fan of all of the stems in here, but it'll be fine. Y'all may have noticed that's kind of my thing. It'll be fine. No stress. Okay. So I can hear that that's almost done, so I'm just going to wait a second so I can answer that. I also want to mention real quick is that there's only 3 days left to get into this membership. All of the extra like administration stuff, it's not the fun part. That takes a lot of time. So we are just going to open this a few times a year where people can get in and have all the benefits of the membership. It's not something you can do any day, every day, because then we'll be constantly dealing with like all the new account setup stuff. It's pretty seamless. We've only had one person that had an issue and we took care of it like within 24 hours. In fact, she sent me an email and I asked her if I could share it, and I meant to have it ready, but I didn't get it ready. But let me find her. Okay, so this is Gabby, and Gabby actually lives in Germany. So I'm in Arizona, and she signed up. So the reason she heard about it is because she took part in the challenge, the Next Step Challenge. And in the Next Step Challenge, you have a meal plan that's really similar to what you get in this membership. And so after we took care of her tech issues, and I think it was probably just, I don't know what exactly it was, but we got it fixed. She said to me, let's see, she found the new members area because she had trouble getting logged in. And she said last week was so much easier because of the batch cooking. She had enough breakfast for the whole week. And so she had more time in the mornings to do other things.
Can you share it into your group or into?
Oh, yeah, I can definitely share into the group. No problem. So that was just really exciting because she, like, just trying this 1 week with the challenge, she saw that it completely changed her week. Because now that she had breakfast sorted for the whole week, she didn't have to think about that. She knew she had something that was going to make her feel great. It was going to feel fed, so she had energy. And there wasn't going to be any like, oh, I shouldn't have eaten that, or oh, that disagreed with me, or anything like that, because it was a really good, healthy meal. So anyway, let me share this into the group. Except I turned off my Wi-Fi and everything. Airplane mode. We will get this shared. He's laughing. I know some of you have commented on Jim's laugh, and I can tell you that it is much better in person. And lots of people at our church know him by his laugh. People at work know him by his laugh. So let's see if I can get this. Oh, there I am. And let me share. And that is not letting me. So let me do it a different way. On my page. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and open this because I want to let some of the heat escape before I'm sticking my hands in this pot. And I also like to give it a stir. All right, and okay, I'll share this into the group. My plant-based family group. If you're not in my plant-based family group, it's a good place to be. And oh, you'll have to pardon my taking so long with this. Let's put this back on airplane mode because I definitely don't want to get any phone calls while we're doing this because that would be rude, right? Okay. So I don't have my favorite spoon. Oh, well, I'll use another one. Oh, there it is. You know I love my Pampered Chefs freaking spoon type thing. Sorry about that loudness. Okay. I'm just giving this a stir, and I'll show it to you in a little bit when it's not so hot. Giving it a stir right now while it's still warm helps to just mix everything together. So there's some spots are typically more wet, some parts are more dry. Okay, back to the food processor. Let's see.
Do you have a tip for keeping cilantro fresh longer?
I do have a tip for keeping cilantro fresh longer, and I will show you that tip once we're done with this. Once we're done with the loud part. All right, I am ready for you to mute. All right, now I'm just gonna scrape the sides down. Normally I don't have as much of an issue with this, but there's a lot of little stems everywhere.
It's their favorite.
Yeah. Jim said my favorite if you're in here. Okay, I may end up adding a little more liquid to this, but I'm just gonna wait and see what we get without it. Just mute. Okay, so I'm gonna show you what this looks like. Am I unmuted?
You are.
Okay, I'm gonna show you what this looks like and then how I determine if I wanna make it more liquidy or not. So this is what it looks like. I know you can't tell a lot. It's like pretty chunky. It's pretty thick. And this is okay. You can definitely do it like this, but I like it to be a little more thinned out. It also helps if you heat up your beans first, which I didn't do because you know how unprepared I was. So I'm gonna get a little bit more liquid. Normally I would just use the leftover liquid from the can, but I dumped it just for ease. So I'm gonna just put a little more in there. And this is only a couple tablespoons, like it's not very much. And I'm just gonna do like maybe that's 2 tablespoons probably. And then I'm gonna blend one more time, and what you get is what. Okay, this is gonna be our final product. It's in the sink. Okay, so this is beautiful, guys. I wish you could smell it. If you like hummus, or if you like cilantro, you would love this. Okay, so it's still a little on the chunkier side, but we could blend it longer. I don't mind it like this at all because it's just full of flavor. Those little pieces are just beans and garlic and all kinds of good stuff. So this hummus, the reason we're making this today on our batch cooking day is because we're going to use it in 2 recipes on the meal plan this week. So those of you who signed up, you know. For the others, I'll give you a sneak peek. This is going to be used in some veggie wraps that we're having about midweek. So those are just like, it's almost like having a salad in a wrap. But because we have the hummus, it gives it, it makes it more filling, because the hummus is like the more protein that you put in. I'm not one to talk about protein usually, but I know that makes sense to people when you tell them. And also we're using it in one more thing. Oh, for like the first day, for if you make it on Monday or whatever day, but it's the first dinner recipe, it's my plant-based Mediterranean bowls. Now those are not on the batch cooking list, but they could be because they batch make really well. And those use quinoa, lettuce, so it's almost like a salad kind of as the base. But if you don't like a lot of greens or lettuce, then you could use less. But it's the greens, it's the quinoa, it's chickpeas, which obviously I have to pick up some more. You could substitute any other bean though. Bell peppers, red onion, olives in there. I don't like olives, so I skip that, but my kids do like olives. And then hummus, and then it's really good. And it also, tomatoes. And I like to use grape tomatoes or cherry tomatoes, because if you cut it up, then things will get kind of soggier. But if you leave those whole, all the juice is trapped on the inside in a handy dandy little carrying case. So that's why we use those. And it's really good. And you can make a whole bunch up and then eat it throughout the week, put it in a jar, or you can just have all your components ready and then make it. But it's so quick. So the quinoa takes about 20 minutes to make, give or take, you know. And in that time, you have all your veggies cut up. So we didn't put it on the batch cooking plan, but the hummus was just one other step. So we went ahead and made it. And you could always use store-bought hummus. You wouldn't have to make your own, but that's just a way that we prepare for the week. And so this is in 2 main recipes, plus you can use it for snacking. So if you're like me and get a little snacky, that's I'm just a snacky girl. I like to snack. All of us, our whole family. We're just like that. Anyway, we like to have a hummus so that we can have veggies. And if we don't have veggies ready though, then we probably won't eat it. But since we know we have 2 recipes and snacks, then this hummus is going to be gone, and I'll make more if we run out. Speaking of which, this is kind of unrelated, but I wanted to mention, so last week you saw me do our full batch cook, and then we followed the meal plan pretty closely. There might have been one thing we didn't make, but I wanted to tell you what all we had left. So we finished all the salad, plus some, we got more, because we like to have salads either for our main lunch, a big one, or we'll have salads like as part of our other meal. So we finished all the salad. We finished all the big baked oatmeal. I think there might be a serving of breakfast rice left. We also finished sweet potatoes, obviously, like those were gone. We had to make more because we ran out. And then we ordered a bag of sweet potatoes and they were gross. So then I had to get a refund on those. But we have more. We're prepared now. What else did we make last week and what did we finish? I can't quite remember. Oh, the soup. So we have about a serving of the soup left. And we even later, we ate it for like a day. And then we were like, oh, let's make this spicy. So then we added like spicy tomato sauce and jalapenos to it. But yeah, we ate, I think there might be a tiny bit of stir fry left, but we ate almost all of our food. So now we normally do our batch cook on Sunday. So by the end of today, we'll be able to finish up all those things. And that's all the stuff that we make on the batch cooking day is stuff I don't have to make later, or things I can just throw together a quick meal. I don't have to wait for that longer thing to cook. So, okay. So we are done with this hummus. It's delicious. And I have a tip for you. I'm not sure who asked, maybe Wendy, maybe Marianne or Marlene. I can't see it right now, but on how to make cilantro last longer. And so this is what I do. I have a little glass cup. Jim had this cup when I met him. And I put my cilantro.
20 years ago.
Yeah, 20 years ago. It works fabulous. I bring my cilantro home from the store. I clean it like I clean all my produce, rinse everything off, and then I get a scissor and I cut the bottom of the stems like you would fresh flowers. I cut those, I stick them into this cup, and then I get a Ziploc bag. I just cut it out of the trash, and I stick it over like a tent. I'm out of cilantro, so the trash is empty. Don't worry. Jim's mortified. I stick it in like this. So then I've got my cup. I've got my cilantro in here, and then I cover it. I used to do it without covering it. It works both ways, honestly. But sometimes when the fridge gets a little cold, it would get a little like frosty. So I just cover it like this. And then this last time, because I've had this cilantro 2 weeks or more.
Yeah.
When did Darren come for dinner last? 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. That's when I bought it. Because we were having Mexican food. I needed fresh cilantro. So, and then you can see I just used it. And there were a few pieces that looked, a little worse for the wear. And I just didn't use those. Simple as that. And because it had been so long and I washed them and it didn't really dry a lot, I just stuck a paper towel in there to kind of collect some of the excess moisture. And this cilantro lasted me 2 weeks. So that's what I do, and it works great. And I've been doing this for years. I've actually seen this tip a lot of places now with the plastic bag, and that's where I learned that part. I've been doing it the other way for forever because I'm like, hey, these are basically like a living thing. You want to put it in water and it'll grow. It won't grow, but it'll stay fresh. So that's what I do. If you have a cold spot in your fridge that's like gets frosty, I would avoid putting it there because you don't need frosty cilantro. But another thing I've done, let me go get rid of this. I'm gonna wash my hands for a second. Can you mute so they don't have to hear it? All right, I wanted to unmute since or I had to wash my hands, and it just gets really loud on this microphone. So I thought that would be better. So kind of lost my train of thought a little, but anyway, so we have the cilantro made. We're going to use that throughout the week. I can dump the rest of the stuff in my trash. I won't pick it up to get it out. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the Instant Pot oatmeal. Move that over. I'm going to scoot that out of the way. Just wipe up here. Now it's still really hot, so I'm going to just put a trivet down so that it won't burn my counter. Get my scoop. Okay. Jim, can you show the food camera? Maybe they can see inside here. Okay. So here is the Instant Pot oatmeal. It's still a little bit watery, so all you got to do is stir it. It's like magic. All right. And then it's just creamy. Now, some people prefer their oatmeal, their Instant Pot oatmeal, to be a little more chewier, a little bit more bite. And you can do that. Just use a little less water, or forget to put your sealing ring in and it'll still cook, but it will definitely be chewier. And I like it creamy. That's how we prefer it. So anyway, and you can take that off the screen now. So I cook this oatmeal. The base recipe is 1 cup of steel cut oats. We get a big bag from Bakery on Main. I think it's like 14 pounds is what I'm thinking. Maybe it's like 7 pounds and $14. I don't know. I feel like it's the best price I see, and they're gluten-free, which is important for us. So we buy the steel cut oats. I keep them in a big Rubbermaid container. And then pretty much every week we make a double batch like this. And to make a single batch, which is like 3 servings, it's 1 cup of oats and 3 cups water, and you cook it on manual or pressure cook for 3 minutes. Since we double it, we do 2 cups of oats, 6 cups of water, but we still only cook it for 3 minutes because it doesn't need more cooking time. It cooks the same amount. It's not something that takes longer to do. So we will eat this for breakfast and sometimes for lunch, especially our boys. They love having the oatmeal for lunch. So they might have something really quick for breakfast, and then come lunchtime, they want to have something more filling. And so we like to make this and just have it ready. And then if we start getting low, once we get down to 1 serving, we're like, okay, this is serious, guys. It is time to make more oatmeal. Like, we can't wait. We got to get going. So that's what we do. And we've been adding breakfast rice to the mix. Jim is on a big breakfast rice kick. He's just loving it. And our boys really love breakfast rice. That was on the batch cooking meal plan last week. And so if you prefer rice to oats, and you remember the meal plan, you can just switch that out. You can just be like, oh, they have oats. Well, I want to make breakfast rice again, so I'm going to make that. So that's something very simple you can do. And then you look at your shopping list. It tells you everything you need. You're just like, mark out oats. Nope. Instead, you put down 2 cups of rice. Because with that shopping list, you can just kind of go shop your pantry and see, okay, well, I already have these spices. Take those off. I already have rice. Take that off. I already have pad thai noodles. Take that off. So you're not having to like buy everything on the list every week if it's something you already have. Like, oh, I already have black beans, or I don't have black beans, but I have these pinto beans and I think they're going to be fine. They're probably going to be fine, right? If you wonder, just email me and I'll say it'll be fine. Or no, don't do it. Like, who knows? I don't know what I'll say because I don't know what the situation is, but I will definitely get back to you quickly and let you know what I think. Wendy asked if the Ziploc bag on that cilantro is closed. Nope, I leave it open. It's kind of just like a tent to sit on top. You probably could close it. I just haven't done it. I just kind of use it to keep the frost off. Kind of like, okay, we live in Arizona. I know you're in New York and it actually gets cold there, like for long periods of time. But here, there might be just a couple of days in like the Phoenix area that gets cold enough that we get frost. Like it doesn't happen much. So on the days that it does, since it's so rare, you'll drive through these neighborhoods and people have like comforters and sheets on their shrubs and trees and flowers. Because if they can just get through that one night or 2 nights, then their stuff will be fine. So on the other hand, we can't grow things that can't handle heat well. So like cilantro, for example, I used to grow cilantro, but it doesn't grow well in like 80 and 90 degrees, which is here a lot of the time. But one time I did grow basil at our old house and the bush was like this big. It was huge. I would always put a call out, who needs basil? Because I don't like basil. So you probably won't find basil recipes from me unless I get every person in my survey. I'm sending a survey out probably next week to find out what all the members of the meal plan, what questions or what kind of stuff they like and don't like, and just find out more about how everybody eats so that the meal plan can be best suited for our members. And if every person told me that they love basil, then we would put basil in it. But I would have other recipe testers check it because I'm not a basil fan. And if you have questions about the meal plans or what it looks like, we're going to go over it in just a minute. I'm going to give you just a quick rundown of what you can expect if you sign up. Then put the questions in the comments and I will make sure that I answer all of those before we go. Wendy just signed up and she said she's printing off her meal plan right now. That's so awesome. Thank you, Wendy. Anyway, okay. So we have this, again, this Instant Pot oatmeal, and it's really good. We will probably eat about a cup to a cup and a half per serving because we usually fill it full of about a cup of fruit. It's just kind of how we do. So, again. Now, when this is over, we're going to eat this oatmeal. We're going to do some batch cooking stuff later. We've got other things to do today, but I'm going to show you what this oatmeal looks like. Let me not burn myself. Okay. And Jen, you might want to share the screen. Okay, so I'm going to just scoop some of this oatmeal out. I'm horrible with measuring things and eyeballing things, except when it comes to food measurements. Like, that is kind of my superpower. This right here is a cup of oatmeal. I bet we could do like a test and measure it, and it would be right at a cup. Okay, it's just one of the things I am good at. Not good at everything, and I don't have to be. Okay, so here are 2 cups of oatmeal. And I'm going to show you 2 ways that we like to enjoy these. Let me grab a couple of ingredients. Didn't refill these. I didn't really restock or plan. But because this is something we do every week, and oatmeal is something we eat almost every day, it's not something I really had to prep ahead of time because it's just a part of our life. It would be like, let me research how to brush my teeth. I don't need to do that. Okay. So we like to always add ground flaxseed. I should say I like to always add ground flaxseed. One of my sons is just as diligent as me in adding this. And I don't know if Jim always adds it. I think it's probably some of the time. But what I do is I buy a bag of flax seeds, and then about once a week or whenever I need to, I stick them in my blender, blend them up. I don't recommend using a food processor because mine does not blend them. It takes a really long time and you get nowhere. And then you stop, put them in the blender, and then it works. And then you have 2 things to wash. So just go straight to your blender. And I like to keep it in a shaker bottle, but often I'll just take the lid off and just shake a little on. So flax seeds have omega-3s that are really good for you. And there's not a lot of places to where you would normally get this. However, when you're eating a plant-based diet, this is a way, if you just sprinkle a little on any kind of oatmeal or any kind of grain, it doesn't have a strong flavor. You're not going to really taste, I don't think, that you are eating it, but it's going to be really good. So, and then sometimes we will use chia seeds. When my kids were little, I just said they were sprinkles, and I would put them in oatmeal and stuff all the time because they're just really good, and the kids love them. Now, Wendy just made a comment that she's going to have to learn how to use her Instant Pot. She's had it 3 years and never used it. Wendy, Oh, Wendy, I'm here for you. Okay, let me know. But so most of the recipes, if a recipe uses an Instant Pot, I tell you exactly what to push. There's some stuff you may need to know, like how to make sure your sealing ring is in correctly, and we can figure that out together. But the recipe, if it's a good Instant Pot recipe, even if it's not mine, it should tell you exactly what button to push. Now, if you have a different pressure cooker, the button might be a little different, but it's generally going to work the same. And if you don't want to use Instant Pot for any recipe, I have stovetop versions available. I don't put them all in the meal plan because that just takes up a lot more pages. And I know everybody doesn't want it to be longer. Like these meal plans are really long because you get every recipe. Some recipes have so many helpful tips that it takes up more than one page. Sometimes it's just barely more than one page. And plus you get a guide from me that tells you like what to do this week, what to expect. And that also includes how to help your family members who aren't plant-based to enjoy these meal plans with you. And I'm going to cover all that in just a few minutes. I'm just going to finish making the oatmeal because I will get sidetracked and forget to tell you something, like I'm doing now. Anyway, Wendy has a frost advisory for tonight. Oh my goodness. Get your blankets out and cover all your yard. Just kidding. So another thing that I always like to add, Jim is laughing. He can't help it, guys. It's involuntary. And it's the great joy of my life making him laugh. So I will wait till he's getting a drink and then I'll say something and I'll get him, and then you know what happens then. Okay, so hemp seeds. I'm gonna put this on mine because I love hemp seeds. And then also we have like raw pumpkin seeds. I eat a lot of these and I need to refill this. So I'm gonna put these on in just a minute. You can also add cinnamon. You could add turmeric. You could add pumpkin spice, pumpkin pie mix, or pumpkin pie seasoning, which has like the cloves and all the allspice and all the things mixed together. That's what I'm going to use. That's what I'm going to look for. Here it is. You know what? You could put everything bagel seasoning in there. I put that on some baked potatoes 2 nights ago. All right, I'm just going to sprinkle some on. And then we like to put fruit. And I will say Jim definitely uses more fruit than me. He'll put like 3 different pieces of fruit on his, and anything that won't fit, we just leave on the counter, and our son comes by and eats it up. So today I've prepared just some simple blueberries and strawberries for this. So a friend of ours named Wendy actually brought us these blueberries. So I just pour those on. And then these strawberries, I'm just going to take the tops off. And because they're so big, I do like to just either quarter them or slice them, whichever. Our kids really prefer strawberries and blueberries and raisins and all kinds of things in their oatmeal that's a bit soupier. So before usually they put the fruit in, they will like add a little bit of rice milk, and you can do that as well. But I think Jim and I prefer it to be a bit more on the firm side, so we don't add the rice milk. Now, throughout the week, we'll just reheat this in the microwave. If you are not a fan of the microwave, you don't have to do it that way. I'll put a little strawberries in your blueberry one too. You can put it back in the Instant Pot, even in a bowl. Like you get it all in your bowl and then stick that on like the wire trivet with water in there and just do it for like a minute. Might heat it up enough. I haven't tried that because the microwave's so easy. You could heat it stovetop, and some people even eat oatmeal cold. You know what? That reminds me, coming up to the meal plan, there's a lot of new recipes, and some of those are going to be cold breakfasts, or like breakfast you just make like overnight oats. You might see like a strawberry and cream overnight oats coming soon. Amy.
Should I switch to one camera?
No, not yet. Just 1 second. I got to take a little drink my water break. Okay, so I'm just gonna pick this up and show you. It's oatmeal. It's got flax seeds. It's got blueberries. It's got strawberries. Often we'll add some walnuts or just whatever else we have. Jim's gonna put a lot more fruit on this. I bet he's probably gonna put a whole peach on top. That's just how he lives his life. Okay, and this one's gonna be mine, and I'm gonna probably steal some of the peaches. I like to add a little maple syrup for sweetness. One of our kids loves stevia, and so he'll always put a little packet of stevia in it. Okay. Now this is just a really hearty, filling, fiber-filled breakfast. Okay, you can go back to one camera. That we're gonna eat as soon as we're done here. So let me talk to you a little bit about this meal plan. I hope this will answer all of your questions. Jim, can you switch over to the slides? We're just gonna go through a few of these slides. You can ask questions as we go along. And I think that if this is something that you think might benefit you and you're not sure, send me an email and I will just let you know, like, this will or won't work for you. Can you go to the one labeled number 1? Okay, so this weekly plant-based meal plan membership is going to have all oil-free recipes. So like this hummus doesn't have oil like most hummus recipes will. The recipes are all pretty simple. If you followed my recipes for any length of time, you know that I don't like super complicated. I don't want us to have to make multiple steps. We're not going to have, unless you want to like cook your beans from scratch, which you can totally do. I'll give you instructions for that. You're not going to have to cook one thing in order to cook another thing in order to cook another thing. The only exception is like we made this hummus so that we don't have to make it during the week. We just get the dishes done with it and we can eat it multiple times. Like that's still pretty simple. So all the recipes are delicious. I mean, come on. I know we don't all have the same tastes. I might like things you don't, like basil, you know. We might have different ideas about the way things taste there, but you know, we test these recipes, we research recipes, and something exciting about this membership is each week I'm going to ask you what recipes you liked, and I'm hoping that everybody lets us know if there's a recipe that's just a big, you know, overwhelming womp and nobody wants that one, it will not show up again in the meal plan. Okay, we don't repeat recipes every week, but if there's favorites that everyone loves, then we want to make sure we have that in a good rotation. And even if it doesn't show up in your week of the meal plan, you still have that recipe and you can make it again. You can just be like, well, I don't know about this pasta thing over here, but I definitely want to make the recipe from last week because it was my favorite. So that's definitely something that you can keep in mind. Can you go to the next slide? He's navigating all the windows to find everything. Okay, so each week your meal plan is going to get a brand new meal plan. That's a dinner meal plan. So that's like 5 dinners. Say that again?
Your inbox.
Oh, you're going to get it to your inbox, and it's also going to show up in the members area of the website. So you can access it either way. You are also going to get a batch cooking guide, and it's similar to what we had in the challenge. So we have a few recipes that we're going to make maybe on the weekend. But here's the thing. If you don't have time to make those recipes on the weekend, say you were traveling, most of them aren't going to be that complicated. You could just skip that, or you could make it later on. Like, for example, we have roasted sweet potatoes on again because those are the side dish for the wraps. So you could just make it that night. It's going to take you an hour or less to make them. But we just like to, things that take that long, we just like to get it over with on the weekend. But you don't have to. You don't have to do the batch cooking. But for Gabby, she said that batch cooking plan was life-changing. You know, it made her week so much easier and better. And that's why she signed up for the subscription as soon as she could. Also, so the shopping list. You get a shopping list with everything mentioned for those recipes, so you'll know exactly what to buy. And a big thing we're excited about is there are recommendations for non-plant-based family members. So what that means is if you are plant-based, but your family is not, you will be able to know what to make for them. So for example, we have those wraps that I've mentioned that we're going to have with hummus. I will tell you meats or dairy that you could add to those for your family members. It's not part of the recipe. It's a note at the bottom of the recipe that says, hey, your family might like this with chicken. They might like it with like rotisserie chicken or shredded chicken. I don't cook meat. So I'm not giving you recipes for the meat. However, if you need more help, let me know and I'll be happy to find recipes for you. I can partner with other bloggers that I can give permission to share their version with you. But I'm not giving you the instructions for how to make the meat. I'm just telling you which meat should go along with it. And if you're already used to cooking non-plant-based meals for your family, then it's probably going to be recommendations of things you already know how to make. So another thing on the menu this week is our taco soup. It's one of our batch cooking items. And so I give recommendations on what you can do to add meat and dairy to that. For example, I'll say, it's a taco soup. You could add ground seasoned taco meat to the soup and your family will never know that it wasn't cooked together. Now, I made that recipe when we had family visiting, and I made the normal plant-based version. Now, they were staying with us for a while, so they had bought some of their own groceries and had some shredded cheese and sour cream, and they put that on, and they said they loved it. They wanted to make it again. It didn't even need meat, but that's just how they're used to eating food. And so those are small, easy tweaks that you can make to make these recipes something that your family will love. And trust me, this person was not plant-based by any stretch of the imagination. Like, they had meat every meal, but they really love that soup. And that's kind of the experience we're going for, to make it as easy as possible for your family members to eat what you're eating, so you're not having to cook. Like, yes, you're maybe cooking meat on the side or adding other things, but you can have a plant-based meal that will make you feel good and help you reach your goals and feel great, like not have all the extra pain or stuff associated with that, with eating those other foods. So we're gonna try to bring the peace to the family. We're seeing people that love that taco soup, especially when the weather gets cooler, but we eat soup every week. We used to think we could only eat it in the fall and winter, but we've just decided for us, it really just makes sense every week because it's something we can eat quickly on our work days. And we love it. And it helps us get more veggies because all of our soups have a ton of veggies, and even sometimes more than what we put in the recipe, because we're like, okay, this is taco soup. Carrots don't really go in taco soup, but we kind of want to add carrots. So we do. We're just wild and crazy like that. Okay, I see Marlene mentions that she's not finding her meal plan. Marlene, as soon as we're done here, I'm going to email you and make sure you get it. It should have been emailed to you. Let's see. You know what? It depends on when you sign up, because the people who would...
Marlene signed up this morning.
Oh, you signed up this morning? Okay, great. So you will not have gotten the email with it yet, but you will definitely get it. On most weeks, you're going to get it every week in your inbox on like a Thursday, probably. That we're trying to figure out the best thing, because this is brand new, but the best way to make it work. But if you can log in, if you've logged in already in the members area, right now there's just one page in the members area, and it has your bonuses, which I should definitely mention. And it also has the meal plan. I think it says September 20th meal plan. But I will make sure you get that as soon as we're done here, top priority. So Wendy said, because she signed up today, she said the notes are great. So here's the thing with those notes. If you were in the challenge, you saw what those look like. It's going to tell you how to store the leftovers. It's going to tell you that if you are gluten-free, to substitute, this pasta with gluten-free pasta, or maybe don't use soy sauce because it has gluten. Make sure you use tamari. It's going to give you recommendations for most of the, top allergens. And also it's going to say, oh, if your family is eating this and they want meat and dairy, this is what you add. And I don't want to harp on that too much, because I know that a lot of us are also plant-based for animals. And so it can be disconcerting to hear someone mention the possibility of adding meat or dairy. But the reality is a lot of people are trying to go to plant-based, and that's the big hang up, is that their family's just not on board. And this is a way to bring more peace to their family, and to make, I can't say I'm going to take away all your fighting. I don't know if we're not fighters. So, but I know that in some families, there's just a lot of consternation about food and about who gets to have the say in how things are done. And this is just a way to bring some peace. So that's why I talk about it, because I realize that's how some families are. Okay. Let's see. Can we find a next slide and see where we're at? And I'm also in a minute going to tell you a few of the recipes that'll be coming up over the next month or so. Okay. Yep, we can go. Oh, so this, you're going to get, as I mentioned, 5 planned dinners. You're going to get the recipes. The recipes are going to be a mix of the quick meals that you can just kind of throw together quickly, and also the prepped meals. So like the wrap is a quick meal, but we've already prepped the hummus. The taco soup is something we're going to cook ahead of time because it needs a little time to simmer. So there's going to be a mix of all of those recipes. So you can do them in whatever order you need based on your schedule. And also the ingredient substitutions and storage will be included on every recipe. And can you go to the next one? So the batch cooking guide. This, I'm going to say this is what will usually be on it because it will change every week. I'm not following a set formula. I don't have a computer picking these recipes. It's a real person. A lot of the meal planning stuff out there, it's like, oh, we need this much of whatever, calories, or this much of, whatever ingredients. And it's just basing it off of some formula or algorithm. But this is recipes that Jim and I pick and we talk about. We're like, well, we can't have that because that would take too much time. And, if we need to figure out how to make it a batch meal, if we're going to use it, like we spend a lot of time like debating the merits. Like we were both debaters in high school. And so we're like debating the merits of these recipes and trying to figure out what is best for people because this isn't something we take lightly, So anyway, usually it's going to have a big soup and it's going to be a different soup every week. You can change it and substitute in the one you want if you find a favorite, but this soup will be used for dinner. It'll be used for lunches because even though this meal plan isn't providing you 3 meals a day for a week, we are working those in so that you're preparing those and you get to choose how you're using some of those, like the soup. If you hate soup, you could leave the soup off. You could substitute something else, or you could just be like, hey, I'm going to have more leftovers during those times. As you use these meal plans, you'll get to see, okay, this is always too much food for me. I need to leave a meal off, or I need to cut these recipes in half. You're going to figure out the best way to make it work for you. So this usually will also have a breakfast and or snack. So last week and this week, it does have both. It has the big baked oatmeal and the Instant Pot oatmeal. Some weeks it might have a banana bread or a muffin recipe or overnight oats. This is going to change every time. We're also taking into consideration how much time this would make for you to cook and what it would use. So like, we're not going to put 3 oven recipes on a batch cook plan because most people have 1 oven and you can only fit so much in there. So that's worked into the plan.
What's the next slide?
Just 1 second. Also, we want you to be able to save time during the week. So that's why we put these things on the batch cooking plan. But you can use it whenever it works for you. You can leave things off. Maybe you have a breakfast you already like and you're not going to make a breakfast every week, or maybe your snacks are already set. Like you love to have a specific thing of snacks every day. Then you can just do that however you want, however that works. And you can, go to the next slide while I take a water break. We got to drink our water, guys. It's very important. Make sure you're drinking water. Okay, so this membership is $14.99 per month. We wanted to make it realistic for busy working families. We wanted it to be something that's, generally affordable, and that you could, if you're following it, you could recoup that amount based on just saved groceries and save time. So if you've never made a meal plan before, then this will definitely help you be organized in your life and your food and your time spent at home. If you normally make a meal plan and you are looking through recipes online and in cookbooks and you're spending a lot of time doing that and then making your shopping list, this will definitely save you time. However, if you love doing that, if that's a part of your week you look forward to, and like you get your tea and you sit down and you get all cozy on the couch and you start doing it and it's something you enjoy, then this may not be for you, and that's okay. But if you either make a plan or not, and then you just buy the groceries and then you get home and then you're tired, so you just order food, or you just have cereal, or whatever the case, and then you end up at the end of the week with a lot of either leftovers that got wasted or produce that got wasted, you are going to recoup those costs by just following a plan. And it may take you a little while to execute the plan to precision, and to find out what works best. So, give it that first month to see how to make it work best for you. And I am just an email away. So if you're like, hey, I ended up with a huge pot of soup and we never ate the soup, then next week maybe make half, or don't make it. I can work with you via email to figure out the best situation. So I definitely welcome that feedback because it helps us make it better for everyone every time. Okay, let's take a look at the next slide. Okay, I've mentioned this once, but if you're coming in and off the call, I want you to know that Monday's the last day to sign up. I know, it's just we don't want to have to deal with all the administrative stuff. We just want to focus on making those meal plans, debating the merits of the ingredients, and serving our members. So if you are thinking about doing this, do it today. Don't wait, because Monday, it's gone. Monday, you can sign up Monday. After that, it's gone. After that, you will get a notice that you can get on the wait list, and we will open it up again at some point, but I don't know when. And that point may be January. We have to just kind of see how it works. This is the first time doing this, and we're learning as we go. We're figuring out all these tech issues. We're building a new website, plantbaseddietmealplans.com. That's completely new. We're still building that out. It's going to have a lot more resources as we go, but you just don't have forever to sign up. Maybe we'll do sometime towards the end of the year where you could get a chance, but that's only going to be for people that were on the wait list. So definitely don't wait, sign up. Plus you can cancel it anytime. Okay, so it's a subscription, so you'll be charged once a month, and whatever day you sign up, that's your billing date. But you only have through Monday, and then it's gone. So I am going to tell you about the bonuses. And Wendy wants to know if we're going to implement a yearly membership. I hope so, but since we were just so new, it was hard for us to think that far in advance because we were just trying to get it running. So I hope that this time next year, we will definitely say or maybe sooner, here is a yearly fee that will be less expensive. But here's something else you need to know about this fee. So it's probably not going to be this low next time. And I've even gotten an email that said, I am so glad you're doing this. I hope you keep doing it forever. And I hope that the fee stays this low. And I said, this fee will stay this low for you, because if you sign up this time, your rate's never going to go up. You know how like Netflix and some of the others are like, stay this fee forever. And then after a few years, they're like, just kidding, we're raising our fees. So I'm not going to do that. If you sign up this time and you stay signed up the whole time, you can't cancel and then come back and expect to get the same fee, the same rate. But if you sign up now, it's going to stay this way forever. And if you sign up later at like a yearly, if we do a yearly option, I will make sure that you're not being like overcharged for that. That's just wrong. I would sooner close the whole thing down than try to do that to somebody. So hope that answers your question, Wendy. Definitely, if you are thinking about signing up to see if it's for you, do it. And then we will we'll answer your questions. We'll go from there. But if you wait till after Monday, you won't be able to sign up this time. And the fee is probably going to be higher next time. That's just, we're like figuring out how much, all the costs we have associated with it, trying to make sure we get those covered, and, all that businessy stuff. I think we have another slide that has the bonuses next, and I would really love to talk about those. Yeah, the next one. Okay, so if you sign up right now, you're going to get an email, and you're going to see these in the members area, 2 big bonuses. One is my snack ideas, because even though we provide a snack every week, you may want something different, and we understand that. And we also have our breakfast ideas. And actually that I have the wrong covers on those. I believe it's 25 snack ideas and 16 breakfast ideas. But these are just PDF downloads that just give you those recipes. You can print off the ones you want. You could print them all off. You could put them in a notebook. But if you sign up between now and Monday, before Monday's over, you will get these bonuses. They're not going to be made available to the email list or anything like that. And in addition, I haven't really promoted this a whole lot. I think I mentioned it in the email this morning, but you're going to get a monthly bonus. Every month you're going to get a gift just for staying a member. And in October, that is going to be my holiday cookbook. It's full of recipes. Now, I did create this a while ago, but it's going to be overhauled so that we update some of those recipes because it's been a while and we have learned better ways to do things. So you are going to get that holiday cookbook. And the holiday cookbook, I call it holiday because it's basically like my Thanksgiving cookbook and meal plan. I think it's even called holiday cookbook and meal plan because I give you a couple plans. I say, because here's the backstory. I used to cook Thanksgiving all by myself, like the full spread, the turkey, the dressing, the mashed potatoes, the sweet potatoes, the green bean casserole, the pies. Like I used to do all of that before we went plant-based by myself. And I had a plan for how to do it all in 3 days because some things you cook ahead, like you cook your cornbread ahead of time so that it'll be ready. It'll be kind of dried out to make the dressing and whatever. It was a big plan. And so I have a plan for people who want to make it, like spread things out and not have to do it all at once. But I have another plan for people who are like, they're working all week. They only have Thanksgiving Day off and they need to make it all. And this is how you make it all that morning so that you could eat at a reasonable time, like you eat at 1 o'clock or whatever. So, but it says, okay, here's like, I don't know, there's maybe 12 or 16 recipes in it. I'm like, okay, if you're going to make my top 6 favorite recipes, this is what time you need to start every single thing. Start chopping things by this time. Turn on your oven at this time. And it tells you the whole plan, knowing that you probably only have one oven and you might only be able to fit 1 or 2 things in there at a time. But anyway, it's all plant-based. And there are 2 recipes that do have oil in those because it's really old, but those are not the main recipes. That's like, oh, if you don't want to make all this, but you want a veggie pot pie, here's how you do it. I haven't figured out a good crust without using oil, but I haven't made that in years. So maybe that'll be one of the things that gets overhauled. We will see. And then, so that's the October bonus, because even though you can't sign up in October, every month you remember you're going to get some kind of bonus. Sometimes it might be like an ebook like that, full of recipes. Other times it might be like some special new recipe. We're thinking about what month? November, it being all about holiday desserts that are plant-based. So that would be like oil-free, delicious desserts. I'm so excited about that one. I'm excited because I get to test all those recipes and get them just right. And then each month there'll be something. It might be a video. It might be another resource talking about ingredient substitutions. Well, we will see. Where I was planning on just doing these bonuses like now. And then I was like, you know what? We should do a bonus every month because that would be more fun. So that's what we're doing. That's what the bonuses are. And if you have signed up, you'll get an email with those bonuses. Plus, it will be in the members area. So let's see. I do have a question. Okay. So yeah, Marlene, we will definitely get that taken care of. And I can even change your email address in the system to make sure you're getting everything that you need to get. Wendy says she has the holiday meal planning cookbook and she liked the veggie pot pie. So yeah, I made it years ago and I have had people ask to put it in their bundles and stuff because it's old. The pictures are pretty rough, but it's still really good. And I wanted to also tell you about some of the recipes coming up because I mean, I've been planning this for a while and I just don't always get all of these recipes onto my blog. Because it just takes a lot more work to put it on the blog. It's easier fitting it on the meal plan. But a few of the recipes you can expect to see if you sign up are bean and potato quesadillas. I love these. They are so good, especially if you have avocado or guacamole. I like it with a little salsa, and they're very filling. So that's a recipe you're going to see come up. It's super easy, and so a lot of these recipes, because I started brainstorming kid-friendly recipes, and I talked to my kids, like, what are some new recipes you want to see? And so a lot of these are from what my kids and I dreamed up. Okay, so hopefully your kids will like them too. Also, another, like, instead of just the bean and potato, that's like the kid version, also a loaded quesadilla that's going to have mushrooms and all kinds of, like, peppers, onions, lots of stuff that are more like grown-up things that we like. And that still will be, meat and dairy free, but you could easily update it for your family. Lentil quinoa minestrone soup. So I have a minestrone soup. I have a couple. I have a stovetop version that's going to be on the meal plan soon. I have an Instant Pot version. We love these. Here's the thing. I don't always want to eat a lot of pasta. And it's not because I think pasta is bad necessarily. It's that some of us in our household can handle wheat and the others need gluten-free. And so we don't want to make something that's going to have necessarily one or the other. We'd have to make 2 pots of soup. So a lot of times I'll make it without the pasta. We'll cook the pasta on the side, and then whoever's making their own food will just add their version of pasta. It's still super easy and good. It just takes an extra pan. But I also have other versions of this that we've discovered over the years where we would add other things instead of the pasta. And one of those is quinoa. So I've got a lentil quinoa minestrone soup coming up. It is really good. Sweet potato fries. When we started making those sweet potatoes every week, one of my sons was like, "Can we have these as like fries?" And I'm like, "Well, of course we can." So we've been making sweet potato fries, which brings me to another thing we've been making is bean burgers. So I have a veggie burger on my website, and I think it's beans and grains, but I've got a new version that is so flavorful, and it saves really well in the fridge. I use kidney beans for this because it just gives it a darker color, and it's just different. It really reminds me of a burger, of a regular burger more, but when I made these last, I loved them so much. I made extra, and then I was like eating them with my salad, and I put them in everything. It was so good. So we've got one of those coming up, plus fries, like big steak fries. We made those, I think, this last week, and we loved them. After I put them in the oven, my dad called, and he's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "Making fries." He was like, "Did you cut them yourself?" I was like, "Yes, I did." Because he was thinking we were just like, putting them from the freezer, which if you do that, that's cool. But I actually cut them myself, and they were really good. In fact, I think I ate the most because I love fries. Some people like potato chips or, I don't know, candy or cakes or cookies or whatever. I love fries. And so these were oil-free steak fries that I baked in the oven. Loved them. Just a little salt. Simple. Also, we have chili fries coming up because why not, right? I like chili. I've got a chili recipe. I like fries. I got a fry recipe. Chili fries are coming up this fall, and I cannot wait to make those. But that's one of those recipes that to take good pictures of it. Chili's doesn't photograph the best, and just coordinating all of that. It may not end up on my blog because I'm gonna have to post the chili recipe and post the fry recipe, and I'd rather just give it to my meal plan members. Also, like a sweet and sour tofu, because me and our boys really like tofu. Jim's kind of like, it's okay, but I love it. So, and one of my sons is getting really good at making it and trying to get him more involved in helping. So we've got that recipe that's going to be coming up this fall as well. So let's see, I was looking at the questions. So I think that covers most of the details. Are there any more slides that I need to show? I don't think there are. So if you want this meal plan, if you sign up today, you will get it today. After we're done with this, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to log into my computer, I'm going to email Marlene, I'm going to make sure she has everything she needs. And once you get signed up, I get a notification typically, and then I will touch base with you and make sure you have everything you need. If you don't, just email me right away and we will get it. I'll turn my notifications back on. We're going to get it sorted. So if you are interested in these meal plans, Monday's the last day. Don't wait until then. Life happens. Things will come up. You might get a flat tire. Your electricity might go out, something, and we're not going to open it back up for some time. So I may check back in with you Monday. I took the day off work so I could make sure to handle any issue that comes up. So you may see me again before then, but we have oatmeal to eat, and we have cleaning to do. Kids are ready to come back and see us. So, definitely email me if you have questions. I'll check back in here and I'll look on YouTube and Facebook both to see if any questions come in. And if it's something that's beneficial to you, I want to make sure you have the opportunity to get it. And if it's not, then no problem. Don't worry about it. So this week on the meal plan, we've got taco soup. We've got Instant Pot oatmeal. We've got roasted sweet potatoes. We've got this hummus. We've got taco soup. We've got some veggie wraps. Oh, what else? Veggie pad thai. There's something else. Oh, a black bean salad, cold black bean salad. This could also be prepped ahead of time, but it doesn't have to be, and it's going to come together super quickly. So I'm going to be eating so good this week, guys. So good. We have a handful of members that are going to be eating so good too. And I hope that you become one of them. So have a great day, drink your water, and let me know if you have any questions.